I want to address what I call one of the many elephants that chronically ill people live with, that sort of sit or are literally sort of harumphing around our lives, literally like having a flipping grey elephant in our sitting rooms. And it is this. There are so many people that I speak to every single week who are living with the terrible burden of thinking that they haven't done enough to attempt to be feeling more comfortable in their own bodies. So let me be a little bit clearer about that. I think in this world where we're being peddled the idea that we can all have what we want when we want it, it's so insidiously pervasive, if that's the right way of putting it, that those of us that are living with maybe mental long-term situations or are burdened with, thank goodness, having open enough hearts to emotionally feel a lot of the time, or are living with chronic conditions. So in other words, mentally, physically, or spiritually, or we're even challenged economically, or who we're having to live with, or where we're having to live, or how we're having to live. There are so many challenges all of the time in our lives. I think there's this idea that maybe we can fix it, sort it, and change it. And if we can't immediately sort it, fix it, and change it, then we have failed. And therefore we are failures. So I have people coming to see me, booking for appointments, or even just talking to me, and they really believe they failed. And I'm here to chat right now briefly about where I've ended up really being on this subject. And I think I want to share with us all some really good news. And maybe you won't agree with me, but I really want to put it out there. The elephant in the room is, I think, the idea that health is only about our physicalities. So if anything goes wrong with our physicality or even our mental state, then we are considered to be not healthy. And I want you to have a think about this sentence, because it is what I call a pattern interrupt. Vibrant health is not the absence of symptoms. In other words, you can be vibrantly healthy and well, living with a long-term chronic condition. You can be living with awful levels of anxiety, which perhaps is a chemical imbalance in your body, or it's a genetic coding. You can be living with and managing levels of depression that no matter what you do, you are living with, and still be integratedly, in fact, healthy. So I don't know whether you want to join in with this conversation that I really want to start. I want to get it out there. Can we please start focusing on what is right with us and not what is wrong with us? And can we please start talking about the elephants in the room? And the elephant of this video is, are you living with a chronic condition of any type which you are associating with a sense of failure. Because I would like to just tell you that you're not. You're not your conditions. You're not the signs. You're not the symptoms. You're a human being that is doing their best, probably against all odds, and you are perhaps weller than you feel, perhaps weller than you think, and certainly weller than this insidious, pervasive notion is, which is that we somehow have to, and I'm going to be very naughty and just ridiculous. You know, we have to have £1 million in our current account. We have to go on a couple of holidays a year. I don't know, we have to have the perfect partner. We have to have the perfect house. We have to have the perfect children. And we certainly can't come down with something. We can't have any signs or symptoms. So please join me and start having some fun with the elephant in the room that society insidiously is imposing on those of us that definitely do not have £1 million in the bank. A survey was done, I think, at the end of last year, and in England anyway, I think I'm going to get this right, but over 75% of us, if not 80%, will die with only £1,000 in our bank account. I just think that sometimes it's important to find some of the stats that actually lead us to perhaps realize how many of us are struggling with so many different things. And I don't think the life is supposed to be perfect. And I don't think we have to be perfect. And some of us are living with long-term chronic conditions, and it doesn't matter how hard we've tried, we still live with pain, or we still are struggling to sleep, or we're still struggling to discover what it is that can make us a little bit more comfortable. Take huge care of yourselves and come and join us if you're at all interested in our fantastic company that I'm so privileged to be a part of. We have an amazing team of people, and it's called Unravel Dis-Ease Naturally. And you'll discover that there are many ways in which you can come and join and literally discover how to unravel the elephants, unravel how sometimes unkind the world is to so many of us that really do have very uncomfortable, nasty realities going on. Goodbye.